Okay, so what are some best practices? Now what we've talked about this, how do we protect ourselves? Basically, just general best practices. Don't click on something you don't know for sure, especially if there's an attachment with .exe. These are very dangerous. It means they are executable files. Exe stands for executable, and they can run some code and do damage. You should have antivirus, strong antivirus, anti-malware to scan any emails and attachments. Try not to use USB drives. I know that's difficult. A lot of people depend on it, but minimize it as much as possible, especially on new computers. So if it's always the same USB on your laptop and you scan it regularly and format and delete, and it's okay. But one USB, giving it to 10 people and your colleague and your friend, and everyone's copying a different laptop, different machine, this is very dangerous. It's like spreading a cold virus. Everyone's sick and kissing each other. It's the same idea. On the cheek, hello, hello, you're spreading the virus. Also, a best practice is to have the security levels. So not everyone has access to everything. In the past, people were more generous, but now we have to be more strict when it comes to security, right? We also need to make sure all our software are updated regularly. And any new patch, for Windows, for Linux, for software that we use must be installed. We should also use two-factor authentication. This is becoming more popular now. In the past, if someone knew the username and password to your email, they can log in, right? But now there's a second level of security a lot of websites do, which is to use your mobile phone as a backup, right? So you log in your email. If it's from a new machine, new computer, it might send a text message or a WhatsApp or call you on your phone and say, someone's trying to access your email. Is this allowed? You can click yes, and it's double security, basically. Another best practice, it's the discussion we had earlier with Mr. Muhammad and Mr. Ayman, is to use a strong password. Use a strong password. Do not use your date of birth. Do not use your address. Do not use your name, your son or daughter's name. These are the first thing hackers guess. And do not use, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, terrible password. You need a mix of words, symbols, capital and small, so something, for example, it could be Monday at 2023 December, and capital and small letters, and the longer it is, the more stronger it is, more difficult to hack. Of course, install firewall. Windows normally comes with firewalls, but sometimes you need to activate it and set rules. So the firewall creates this protection around your computer. So only applications and websites you give access to are allowed to send and receive data. Install antivirus and anti-malware tools, and implement role-based access control and security groups and settings for your corporate and cloud systems. I think we can also stop here for a few minutes to see if there are any further questions on this past section before diving in cybersecurity experts. So, Mr. Abdullah.
Yes, doctor.
Up to you.
Well, if our audience have questions, they can ask. We are here with the doctor. Doctor, if you allow me, I would love to say something that's really catch my, my attention.
Yes, please.
Think like a hacker. This is what you said, right?
Yes.
It's very.
You like that?
Yeah, it's very meaningful actually. That you put yourself in a place like how the other person actually thinking or acting.
Exactly.
Then you would actually can easily expect his next move. So it's very meaningful, doctor. Thank you so much for that.
I'm glad you like that, Engineer Abdullah. It's easier said than done, but it is a principle, and it's actually useful in life in general. Put yourself in the other person's shoes, they say.
Yeah.
There's a saying, to try to see, why did this man do this, or why did he act in this way? Maybe he was nervous, didn't sleep well, maybe.
Yeah.
You're trying to see why. Same idea with hackers. So, and there's actually something called white hat and black hat hackers. So black hack is evil and white hacker is the good guy. You know, making it simple, but same skills. That's the thing. Governments hire hackers. It's how we think. So if you know how to think like a hacker, it's like being a police detective. If you want to understand how police detective thinks, then the criminal, sorry, if the police detective knows how the criminal thinks, then they can predict what they're doing, see, follow the evidence, try to discover what's going on and solve the crime. It's the same idea here, exactly. But thank you for sharing that thought, Engineer Abdullah. It's a great idea.
That's very good. Thank you, sir. So our audience, if any questions, please, we have maybe 2 to 3 minutes to ask Dr. Ahmed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone with thoughts, questions? We still have another opportunity. Well, yeah, we have a few more slides still, and then we'll talk about dark web next. So we have opportunity for more questions. All right.
No, thank you. So far, so good, Mr. Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. Okay, so let's proceed. So now we've talked about what is cybersecurity, why do we care? We showed the damage it can cause. We've discussed how to protect, best practices, what hackers do. So this part will cover who is the cybersecurity expert, right? And what do they need to know, or what should they know to become successful